Hello, friends. Welcome to another Stamp Me Tuesday. Tonight, we are going to do an easy rubber stamping technique, creating a really cool watercolor background using water-based markers. I'm going to use our Stampin Write markers. I think you're going to love how simple this is and how much fun it is, and it always ends up a little bit different, which I always find. I am Heidi with Onigo Stamping. I'm going to help you reconnect with your inner artist by using stamps, ink, and paper to create beautiful handmade cards and gifts like this one. If you are here and watch me live tonight, I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you're watching. Let me know if you are stamping along with me tonight. If you are watching the replay, special welcome to you as well. I love that y'all come later to watch the replay. Let me know that you are here and let me know about this technique as well. If there are any sound problems, please let me know. I feel like, sound goes really well for a long time and then suddenly something goes wrong. And I have to do something else. So we'll see what happens. If there's sound problems, let me know and I will try to fix them. I'm going to go ahead and make my screen look a little bit bigger so that we can get down to work and start doing this technique. So I have pulled out the beautiful butterflies stamp set once again to use. I was trying to look for something different, and my samples, both of the sample cards I'm going to show you when I'm done, use different stamp sets, but there's still sound problems. All right, I'm going to flip microphones. Hold on. All right, let's try this. But I feel like that is going to give us echoes. Am I correct? Please let me know if that is echoing. Anyone? The sound seems to be skipping. That is because I was using my phone. So I just switched it over to my computer. But now I'm pretty sure it is probably echoing for y'all. All right. Yep, that's not going to do it. So the problem is that I'm using my phone, and when I use my phone, it does not completely shut off the sound. And that is what is creating the echo for us this evening. So I'm trying to find something to plug in. See if I can get that echo to leave. Let's try this. All right. Nope, that's not going to do it either. You're not hearing any echo, Ellen? All right. Well, we'll just go ahead with this. So frustrating. So frustrating. All right. All right, let's get started. Let's do this technique. I'm using the beautiful butterfly stamp set. I can hear myself tonight, which it didn't ever used to do that. So I don't know what is going on. All right, here's the beautiful butterfly stamp set. And what I'm going to do is I have the stamp just like that, and I have it already on a clear block. I'm going to leave it sitting straight up. So this is the stamp right here. And I'm actually going to take another clear block and I'm going to lay it on top. All right. So just like that. And then I have some Stampin Write markers. And these are water-based markers. So I can use them with water to create a watercolor look. I pulled out 3 colors. This is Daffodil Delight, Poppy Parade, and Pumpkin Pie. And I'm going to use these tonight. These are all Brights. They come from the Bright Stampin Write Markers pack. The Stampin Write markers, they come in color collections. And so they come in 10 packs. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start and I'm going to color some spots. And I'm kind of coloring like where this butterfly is. So, and this is what's kind of fun about the markers is because you can kind of control where it goes. You can't really control where it goes, but you can kind of control where it goes. So I'm going to come in with the pumpkin pie. And I'm just going to add some more. And I'm just doing it around this butterfly. Because I'm trying not to get like a huge giant square. I want to get like an actual shape. So there I put pumpkin pie and daffodil delight on there. And I'm just going to come in and add a little bit more. You can really see this poppy parade. And it works a little bit better if you are looking straight down, which is not really what I'm doing. All right. So I just put a whole bunch of poppy parade on there. I'm going to come back with my daffodil delight, and I'm just going to add a little bit more. So I'm just going over the areas I've already colored and adding some more ink. I'm trying to go in the spots where I had originally put daffodil delight, but I have no idea. It's hard to see. But basically, I'm just layering up some ink on there. And I'm going to come back in. I'm going to do the same thing. Layer up some more pumpkin pie. Just getting it all on here. I like to use colors that don't always like contrast. If you use contrasting colors and they overlap a little bit, you could end up creating brown. So that's why I stuck with 3 colors that are close to each other. They're friends, right? So just adding a little more poppy parade on here. So there we go. I have that all colored. Now comes the fun part. I'm going to peel this off. If you can, this gets a little, the stamp likes to stick. So you got to kind of pull that off. I'm taking the stamp off, and now I just want to use this. I really was just using the stamp to see where the stamp was going to go. I have a piece of basic white, and I'm going to take my Stampin Spritzer. Now this is like a little spray bottle, a little teeny tiny spray bottle, and it has water in it. I'm using my Stampin Studio mat, my glass mat tonight, because this does get a little bit wet. So I thought we're going to put down some protection. But what's nice about the Stampin Spritzer is that it creates a very fine spray. So that's what I'm going to do, is just spray this. And you can see where it got kind of clumpy. That's okay. Like I said, it is going to run, and that's going to be the prettiness of it. So now I'm just going to take that, and I'm going to put it on there, let it sit for just a second, and pull that up. So there we go. It did kind of run to the edge. So maybe I got a little bit too much water on there. We could try again if we wanted to. We'll let that, well, actually, let's go ahead and do it again. Let's do it again. So I'm going to set that one aside. Let it start drying. Maybe I'll try to use a little bit less water this time. So I just cleaned off my clear block. I'm going to put this over top again. And then, take this off, get some of the extra water off, and come in and do some coloring again. So again, I'm starting with the Daffodil Delight and just coloring over parts of my butterfly. And I might do the second layer right away. Just add in some more ink. And then we can come in with the pumpkin pie and add some of that. Just coloring all in here. Getting that kind of outline of the butterfly. And then we'll come in and we'll add around the outside. Give it some definition that may or may not stay. And there we go. I have my butterfly again. Let's see if I can get a little bit less water this time. And we will stamp this again. I gotta get this apart again. Tell you, this is the hardest part, but I like to be able to see where that stamp is gonna be. All right, let's see. Hold my spritzer back further, and that should give us a lighter spray. It's just harder to get it in the camera. All right, so there we go. We got a lot lighter spray. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe got too light. So you go back and forth in one direction, in the directions side to side. All right, so let that go in there. Ooh, that's kind of fun. It gives it kind of a, yeah. All right, so we have two different ones. We have sploochy splotch. We have a much more defined that maybe didn't get wet enough. I'm going to take my heat tool. I'm just going to heat these to dry them up a little bit so that I can stamp on them. And actually, I'm going to use this one. So I'm just going to put that. No, let's go ahead. We'll dry it. We'll try it out, see what it looks like. So I almost want to do this like a third time, get in between these two, right? But there we go. Because now I'm going to take my StazOn and I'm going to grab this stamp that I used before. And I'm going to ink this all up with this jet black StazOn. There we go. Nice and inky. You got a nice black butterfly. And I'm just going to stamp this over the top. Let that kind of sink in a little bit. We'll see what we get. And with StazOn, it sticks. So you got to peel slowly. I think my paper was still a little bit wet. Yeah, it was wet up there. So we're not getting quite as good of an impression as I would like, but that's kind of cool looking. Isn't that neat? And you're going to see the other examples too, which I was maybe a little happier with. But anyway, there we go. I do want to stamp a sentiment as well. So I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock. Let's see if this is big enough. And of course, I have vellum on my glass mat so that it doesn't reflect. And of course, it is deciding to peel up. All right, so I'm going to stamp the sentiment. That says time to celebrate, and it is crooked. There we go. Lisa, you're loving this. I'm so glad. All right, so we're going to stamp our sentiment on here. There we go. Super pretty. You can see that gave me a nice crisp black. And that's how I know that this was probably still a little too wet. And that's why it didn't give me a really nice background there, a nice clean image. All right. I'm going to trim this off. My favorite thing to do with sentiments. And of course, I smudged it with my fingers. All right, we're just going it. We're just going with it tonight. My favorite thing to do with sentiments is I just trim them after I stamp them. So a lot of times I do not measure ahead of time. I stamp it and then I trim. And actually, you know what? I was going to leave that square, but now that smudge is really bugging me. I'm going to grab some hand sanitizer, try to get some of the extra ink off my fingers. Ooh, ouch. I smashed my knuckle. I don't know if you can see it. I smashed my knuckle against the wall today, and I just put hand sanitizer in it. So it's been a bang up live tonight. All right, I'm going to cut around this with my snips. And hopefully I don't get my fingers in it more. I could take my heat tool and zap it a little bit, but I have zero patience. So we'll just try to be careful. I don't know. Are y'all patient people? Like, do you do all the steps or do you skip things? Go too fast. I am definitely a impatient, go too fast person. So we're just cutting around that. Cutting off that smudge that I did. There we go. All right. Then we can put that on our card. I'm going to make the card base. This is just thick, basic white. And it's 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it at 4 1/4. I'll give that a smush. And then this is going to go right on top. Lisa, you try to have patience. Oh, that's good. It's very, very good. All right. I'm going to use my green glue and put this on here. So there's our butterfly. Let's grab, let's see what we should grab. Let's kind of like peek at what I got. What do I got? Maybe let's do gold. Should we do gold? Out of black, maybe yellow. Maybe a little yellow. That's kind of too. Maybe we will not do ribbon. We'll just put gems. It cut your voice off. Oh no. I'm sorry. Can you still hear me now? I'm having all sorts of sound issues this evening. All right. I put my Stampin' Dimensionals on there. And just going to take those off. I'm going to add this to my card front. Lisa, you didn't lose me. All right, good. So we just added that sentiment. And then we'll add some gems. I'm going to look for something sparkly. How about maybe those? Maybe. Nope, not those. I really should pick out my gems before I go live, but I never know exactly what I want to use. Oh, here we go. This is what I want. How about those? They're super sparkly. Sherry, you left and came back. Okay, good. So these are the iridescent faceted gems. They're so pretty. They're gorgeous. They're going to look so pretty on here. I'm just going to add them. Add a few of them to my card front, just like that. And there we have a beautiful handmade card using this watercolor with markers. Isn't that fun? You just ordered this bundle? Nice. Don't forget that the beautiful butterfly stamp set, you can get it free as part of celebration. So what I recommend is getting the dies, purchasing the dies, purchasing some pattern paper, some inks, or some cardstock or something else, getting up to $60, and then getting the stamp set for free because you're going to save a little bit of money that way. So there we go. Let me show you my alternate examples. This is a brand new stamp set. It is called Thankful Garden, and it has this beautiful hydrangea. So I colored in Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, Soft Seafoam, and Granny Apple Green, and then I stamped it over the top. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. This is going to be available starting next week, Tuesday, March 4th. It's one of the new online exclusives. Do not use your alcohol markers because it's not going to run with water. Yeah, it's not going to run with water if you do it with alcohol markers. So this is available starting next week. It's one of the online exclusives. If you wanted to get it earlier than next week, you can add it to your starter kit. And when you join Stampin' Up! Before Friday, it's still celebration, and you can get 2 free packs of the Stampin' Write markers. So you can grab the Stampin' Write markers, add this to your starter kit, and get an amazing, amazing deal. So that is the Thankful Garden. And then I have one more. This is Grow with Love. And I love how this one turned out. So pretty. And the background paper, this is the Storybook Garden paper. And then this is the Timeless Plaid. And I swiped my ink pads on the side of it to give it a little distressed look. So there we go. There are my cards tonight using this watercolor background markering technique, whatever you want to call it. I hope that you enjoyed this. The project sheet will be in my email tomorrow. You can find more information about this over on my blog. I also have the complete supply list for these 2 cards over there. And of course, if you have questions, I am here to help. And Kim, you're late, but you can watch the replay in just a few minutes as soon as I get done. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you'll come back on Thursday. I'm going to show you another kind of technique on Thursday, and we're going to use the Ocean Friends bundle. So I'm super excited about that. I'll see you on Thursday. Have a great evening.